Today starts week 11 of the NFL season, so let's do my predictions for every game. Starting with a banger of a game on Thursday night being the Commanders and Eagles. Both great teams, both division rivals. But to me, the Eagles are playing better football right now. If you asked me a couple weeks ago, I'd probably pick the Commanders, but just how the Eagles are playing recently is too good. I have to pick the Eagles. Next up with the Bears versus the Packers, I just have to pick the Packers. The Bears are playing some horrible football as of recently. I mean, that loss to the Patriots was just crazy. Do I think the Bears could turn it around? Maybe, but I wouldn't bet on it. Give me the Packers. If Trevor Lawrence was starting, I would say there's a chance for an upset just because the Jaguars have played close to literally every single opponent they played this season, even though their record has sucked. But because Mac Jones is going to be the starter again, I just have to pick the Lions. I just don't see them losing this game. Give me the Dolphins over the Raiders. The Dolphins are playing some great ball right now. Tua has looked great since he's come back from his injury, and the defense has really been on lock for a while. Got the Dolphins. Weird game because the Rams just had a tough loss and the Patriots had a great win. I feel like both these teams are going to come back to reality, though, which would mean that the Rams get the win. This was probably the hardest game for me to pick. I mean, both of these teams have just so many question marks across the board. The Saints looked good last week, but outside of that, they haven't won since week 2. And the Browns had a good win against the Ravens, but then just shit the bed against the Chargers. I'll pick the Saints, not confidently at all, so we'll see what happens. It is Steelers week for my Ravens. I have picked the Ravens to win every single game so far this season. But to be honest, I just can't pick the Ravens in this game. As much as I hope I'm wrong, the Ravens just haven't been able to beat the Steelers. Lamar has not beat the Steelers since 2019. I know a lot of Ravens fans talk about it in context, how there's been a lot of very weird games when the Ravens play the Steelers where Lamar wasn't in or there was lots of injuries across the board on the Ravens defense. But even being said, I mean, Lamar's had so many chances and he hasn't get it done. I'm going to pick the Steelers. Obviously, the Ravens should win this game and they could win this game, but I just don't know. I can't pick them right now. Next, give me the Vikings over the Titans. Vikings looked real shaky last week, but I don't expect that to continue against the Titans, so I'll take the Vikings. Give me the Colts over the Jets. Both these teams just came off of horrible losses, but the Jets haven't really looked promising at all outside of that Texans game, so I just have to pick the Colts. I'll take the Falcons over the Broncos. I know they just had a tough loss against the Saints, but they're just simply a significantly better team than the Broncos. No shade at Denver. They're having a significantly better season than I thought they were going to have this year, but I just think the Falcons are going to win. Fuck all the Seahawks fans that were talking shit to me at the beginning of the year. 49ers are going to sweep them. I have no idea why they did not flex this game to Sunday Night Football. But regardless, this is going to be a very close game. In the playoffs, the Chiefs have had the Bills' numbers, but the Bills have actually played very well against the Chiefs in the regular season. The Chiefs are obviously 9-0 and haven't had their first loss yet, and this is, probably the best competition they're going to play outside of the Ravens this year. I'll take the Chiefs just because they're 9-0, and it's hard for me to pick against them until they lose. But hey, Buffalo has a good chance. Even though it's hating, Sunday Night Football is still a good game between the Bengals and Chargers. Give me the Bengals. I know that the Chargers are the better overall team, but I just see Joe Burrow going completely off in this game. And lastly, on Monday Night Football, we have a dud of the Texans versus the Cowboys, the game of Texas. Texans are going to destroy them.